All right, it's time to get ready for our Unit 8 test. And so for the first ones, we're just sketching the polynomial functions. And so if you set these equal to 0 and solve, this would be -2. And I'll make a little note, there's two of them, -1 and +1. So -1, -2, +1. We're ending down because of the negative in the front. And so we're going to end down here below the x-axis. And we're going to go straight through the 1, straight through the -1. Then we're going to bounce to the -2. And if you wanted to, you can always check your work by graphing in the calculator to make sure our sketch looks like the original. So there's the equation, -x + 2 squared, x + 1, x - 1. And whenever I graph it, there it is. It looks a lot like what we graphed right there. Our dip may look a little bit lower than theirs, but all that we are looking at is the end behavior and how does it go through the roots. It goes straight through, and it bounces. And so we've graphed it correctly. On this one, we've got +1 and -1, and there's three of them at +1, which means that's that bend through. And so we've got -1 and +1. This one's going to end going up because it's positive, so we're going to aim to the right of that dot a little bit, and we'll bend through that one, and then we're going to go straight through the next one. All right, number 3, we've got -2, +1, -3. And this one ends going down. All of these are single roots, so we're just going to go straight through each one, straight through, straight through, straight through. Number 4, we've got 0, and there's two of them at 0, 1 and 3. 2, 3. We're ending up, and so we're going to go straight through the 3, straight through the 1, and bounce to the 0. All right, divide each of the following. You can do synthetic or long. I'll do both of them, so you can check whichever method that you choose. And so I'll do synthetic first. If I put -5 in the box, I'm going to put all my coefficients. So 3, 14, -3, and 7. Nothing was missing. We'll drop down to 3. 3 times -5 is -15. That's -1. -1 times -5 is 5. That's 2. 2 times -5 is -10, which is -3. And then my exponent's going to be 1 less than the original. So it was cubed, now it's going to be squared. 3x squared minus 1x plus 2, and then that's my remainder, -3 over x plus 5. And so one good way to check your work is to go ahead and do both. And you should get the same answer both ways. And so 3x cubed plus 14x squared minus 3x plus 7. And we'll divide by x plus 5. And so what do I multiply x by to make it match 3x cubed? That's going to be 3x squared. And I'll multiply this to both of these on the outside. So that becomes 3x cubed plus 15x squared. And then because we're subtracting, we're going to change our signs. Those cancel out. We're left with -x squared, and then we'll bring down the -3x. And then we'll do it again. What do we multiply x by to make it match -x squared? That's going to be a -x. And then we'll multiply, that's -x squared and -5x. And then because we're subtracting, we change our signs. That becomes 2x. I'll bring down the +7. To make x match 2x, we're going to multiply by 2. So that's 2x plus 10, and we're subtracting, so we'll change my signs. -3 is my remainder, -3 over x plus 5, and we've got the same answer either way we do it. So pretty certain we got the right answer. All right, number 6, again, I'll do both methods. Let's see, make sure it gets into focus. There we go. All right, so this one, we're missing the cube. And we're also missing the x. If I set this equal to 0, we'll add the 2 over and then divide by 3, so x equals 2/3. And so we'll put 2/3 in the box. Whoops, 2/3 in the box. And then we've got 9, 0, 5, 0, 2. So drop down the 9. To do 9 times 2/3, you can use a calculator, or it's divide by 3 times 2. So 9 divided by 3 is 3, times 2 is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2, times 2 is 4. That's 9. 9 divided by 3, again, is 3, times 2 is 6. We're repeating here. 6 divided by 3 is 2, times 2 is 4, so that's 6. And then we're going to divide by, since my leading coefficient's not 1, we're going to divide by that 3. And so this becomes 9 divided by 3 is 3x, it was 4, now we're going to do cubed, plus that's 2x cubed Sorry, I said cubed, but I put 4. And then that becomes 3x and then plus 2 and plus 6 over 3x minus 2. Then we'll do long division just to make sure we got the right answer. 9x to the 4th plus 5x squared plus 2 divided by 3x minus 2. And so to make 3x match 9x squared, we need 3x cubed. So that becomes 9x to the 4th minus 6x cubed. We'll change our signs because we're subtracting. Those cancel out. These aren't like terms, so I'm just going to drop them down. 6x cubed plus 5x squared. To make 3x match 6x cubed, we need 2x squared, and that becomes 6x cubed minus 4x squared. We'll change my signs because we're subtracting. That's 9x squared, and we'll bring down the plus 2. To make 3x match 9x squared, we need 3x, and so that becomes 9x squared minus 6x. Change our signs because we're subtracting. These aren't like terms, so 6x plus 2. To make 3x match 6x, we'll do plus 2. That's 6x minus 4. We'll change our signs because we're subtracting. And then that 6 is my remainder. And so plus 6 over 3x minus 2. And make sure we got the same answer with both. We did. And so it should be correct. All right. Number 7, we're going to use division. Could be long or synthetic. And then we'll use the result to factor completely and sketch the graph. So do the whole process. And so on this one, x equals 2. So I'll put that in my box. I'm going to also put on my blank so I don't forget about it. And then nothing's missing. So 1, 1, negative 4, negative 4. Drop down the 1. That's 2. 3 times 2 is 6. That's 2 times 2 is 4. So it's a good factor. X squared plus 3x plus 2. We'll do the x method. What multiplies a 2 and adds to 3? So we need 2 times 1, and so x plus 2 and x plus 3. Sorry, x plus 1. I was looking at the 3 down there. And then we'll set them equal to 0 to solve, so that's negative 2 and negative 1. So negative 1, negative 2, positive 2. This one ends going up, and we'll go straight through because there's no repeaters. All right, next one, we'll put negative 4 in the box, and I'll go ahead and put it on my blank too so I don't forget about it. 1, 2, negative 17, negative 18, 72. That's negative 4, negative 2, 8, negative 9, 36, 18, negative, let's see, 2 carry a 3, 72. That's x cubed minus 2x squared minus 9x plus 18. And now we'll do factor by grouping because there's 4 terms. And so on this one, we take out x squared. On this one, we take out negative 9. So the x minus 2's are going to come together. And then x squared minus 9 is going to turn into x plus 3 and x minus 3 with difference of squares. So I've got 2 here, negative 3, and positive 3. 2, negative 3, and positive 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. This is going to end going up straight through each of them. So straight through, straight through, straight through, straight through. Kind of missed that dot over here, but there we go. All right, moving on to the next one. We'll do the same thing. So I'll put 1 in my box. I'll go ahead and put it over here as well. 1, 7, 8, negative 16. 1, 1, 8, 8, 16, 16. X squared plus 8x plus 16. And so we'll think what multiplies to 16 and adds to 8. That's going to be 4 and 4. So x plus 4, or x plus 4 squared, however you want to write it. And I'll set them equal to 0, and we've got 2 roots at negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and positive 1. This one ends going up or straight through the 1, but because we've got 2 negative 4s, we're going to bounce to the negative 4. All right, factor each polynomial function completely, and so we'll take out the x squared. We're left with x squared minus 9. That goes down to x plus 3x minus 3, so I'll go ahead and put it on the blank. Number 11, I don't like negatives in the front. There's also an x with each of them, so we'll take out a negative x squared plus 5x plus 4. And we'll do the x method with that. Think what multiplies to 4 and adds to 5. It's going to be 4 and 1. And so I'll go ahead and put it on the blank, negative x plus 4, x plus 1. Got 4 terms, that's going to be the grouping. So we'll take out an x squared and left with x minus 3. We'll take out negative 4, x minus 3. So x minus 3s are going to come together, x squared minus 4. And we're going to do difference of square, so it's x minus 3, x plus 2, and x minus 2. Number 13, I will start off by GCF, and we're going to take out a 2, and we're left with x cubed plus 8. And this is the sum of cubes, which that formula, a cubed plus b cubed, is going to turn into a plus b, a squared, minus ab plus b squared. And so for this one, my a is going to be the cube root of x cubed, which is x. My b is going to be the cube root of 8, which is 2. And now we're just going to plug them into the formula. So I'll put the 2 in the front. We've got x plus 2. And then we've got x squared minus x times 2, which is 2x. And then plus b squared, which is 4. That's 2 squared, which is 4. Simplify the following. Is just combining like terms, multiplying, whatever we need to do. Since we have this negative, it's going to change all of these signs right here. So negative 5x to the 4th, negative 4x, and positive 8. And now we'll just combine like terms. I'll go in order. And so with my x to the 4th, I've got this one, and this one. And so that becomes 7 minus 5, which is 2x to the 4th. And I'm done with those. My next highest exponent is my x's. So I've got that one, and that one. So my negatives, we've got negative 11 plus 3, which would be negative 8x. And I'm done with my x's. And then with my numbers, I've got 1, 8, and 5, which that's 9, 14. So plus 14. Number 15, this is a distribution. It's kind of like FOIL. We're going to multiply the 6x to everything, multiply the 5 to everything, and then combine like terms. I like to stack it as well as I go. And so I'm going to have 6 times 2x squared, that's going to be 12x cubed, and then minus 36x squared, and minus 36x. Now we'll do the 5. 5 times 2x squared is going to be 10x squared. I'll put it with my x squared. That's going to be negative 30x and negative 30. And then we'll combine like terms, 12x cubed minus 26x squared minus 66x minus 30. All right, on this one, there's a lot to this one. We're going to FOIL this one because that's 2x minus 5 times 2x minus 5. That's what this squared means. This one we're going to distribute the negative 2, and this one we're going to distribute the 3, and then we'll start combining like terms. So with the FOIL, that's going to become 4x squared minus 10x plus 25. With the negative 2 being distributed, we've got negative 14x squared, negative 12x, and negative 16. And then distributing the 3, we've got plus 12x cubed minus 18x squared, and minus 18x. And then we'll combine like terms. The highest exponent I see is the cubed, and so I'll drop that down, 12x cubed, and we're done with that one. My squares, I've got this one, and this one. And so I'll just go ahead and knock off 4 from there. So that's going to be negative 10 minus 18 is going to be negative 28x squared. And then my x's, I've got this one, and this one. All of them are negative, so we're just adding them. So that's going to be, we'll just add these two together first. That's going to be 30, 40, 50, so negative 50x. And then my numbers, I've got 25 minus 16, which is plus 9. And one thing you can do, and it's kind of a long process, but if you want to check your work on a problem like this one, I can put it in just as it is. And so I'll put in 2x minus 5 squared minus 2, 7x squared plus 6x plus 8 plus 3, 4x cubed minus 6x squared minus 6x. And then in y2, I'll put my answer, 12x cubed minus 28x squared minus 50x plus 9. And if I were to graph it, they should be the same graph. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to see them. There's the blue graph, and the red graph should overlap it if we did it correctly. And it looks like it did. You could also go to the table and see if your numbers are the same. 9 and 9, negative 57. All my numbers are the same, so they're the same graph. And so you could check it by using your calculator and just making sure that they are the same. They should be the same if you simplified correctly. And then lastly, there's a subtraction, so it's going to change all my signs. Another subtraction, change all my signs. And then we'll just combine like terms. And so the highest exponent I have is my cubes. So I'll do my cubes first. And so we've got 7, and then that's also negative 7. So they're gone, they cancel out. And then my squareds, I've got negative 7x squared, negative 2x squared, and 5x squared. And so that's gonna be negative 9 plus 5 is negative 4x squared. And so there's no x's, so we'll go into my numbers. It's negative 8, negative 9 plus 2 is negative 7. And that completes it. And so let me know if you have any questions. I hope you're ready for this test.